just a bit outside.
And welcome to another episode of Just a Bit Outside. I'm your host, Steve Ely, and along with me, as always, is going to be my insufferable Eagles fan co-host, Wes Cook.
Super Bowl week, baby.
It is Super Bowl week. It is, and we are excited.
Excited, anxious, pumped, whatever you want to call it.
You're doubly excited.
All of it, man. Everything about this has my juices flowing.
I'm very interested in the game. Like I said, I'm really rooting for the sinkhole or a meteor strike, but
don't you want me to be happy?
I always want you to be happy.
You want me to be happy, man.
Bro, I'm pretty sure I'm the one that said last week the Eagles were going to cover easily. And you're like, I don't know if it'll be easy. It was easy, sir.
Well, yeah, they definitely drug the Skins through.
Ooh. Well, it went back. I mean, Skins.
I just got breaking news on my phone.
What'd you get?
Jimmy Butler has been traded to the Golden State Warriors.
Why?
I'm just telling you, it just came through. Sorry, I didn't mean to break up Super Bowl news and excitement and everything, but that just happened.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I saw a thing where KD said he was not interested in reuniting.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, Jimmy Butler wanted to go to Phoenix, and apparently he told Golden State he wouldn't.
He wouldn't resign.
He wouldn't resign. So this is news.
Like something has changed.
Yeah, something big changed. So, not sure what that is.
Yeah, it's not even come across the ticker up here yet.
No. Yeah, we got the Sixers game on. They're playing the Heat right now. It hadn't shown up there, and they may be talking about it. Of course, we got it muted.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's big news right there.
That is big news.
Yeah,
I mean, how much better does that make Golden State? I would assume a little better. I don't know what the trade details are though. So
yeah, that's what I'm trying to find right now, and I'm not seeing anything about it outside of my watch. Just alerted me.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything at ESPN.com or anything either. So. Not sure what is going on. Check the NBA home. Yeah, nothing there.
I haven't seen anything, but it is late breaking news right there.
Yeah, it is. Interesting week when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it won't let me click the link from my watch or anything. I wonder if it'll pop up here on my phone. See if I can find something here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet. Not seeing the details, but as soon as we find them, we will spit them out for you guys.
Yeah, that's different, but yeah, no details on it right now. But that is what we just heard right now. That's impressive.
Look at this breaking news!
That's what we do here. Not really, but back to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl, of course, is Sunday night. I will be in Philadelphia with my Eagle brethren.
As you should, sir.
And I couldn't be more excited.
I'd be pumped too. If it wasn't February in Philly.
I mean, it's cold, it's warm here, it's whatever, And I mean, it's not going to bother me. Yeah, the beers will keep me warm.
Oh, dude, you ain't got to. I know.
The beers will keep me warm.
I know all about the beers in the stadiums and stuff like that. Just drink them down. Keep them coming.
I think the mics are messed up.
You don't think we're getting any sound?
Stop them.
No bueno.
Exactly.
No. That is
Let's
not.
do-
No figuring it out at the moment. Well, don't want to be dead air at the moment, but it is going to be Super Bowl this weekend. Chiefs, Eagles. Spread still 1.5, 2.5.
It's 1.5. It has not moved.
I don't think it's going to move, buddy.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think it's going to move. Tickets as low as $2,600.
That's wild.
That's super wild, bro. Need to do a restart or something? All right. Well, you just let me know, and we'll keep rolling. Man, how many more touchdowns would Saquon have if, they didn't do the tush push every time they're inside like the 2-yard line?
There we go. Our mics are back. There we go. We're good. We just had to unhook and plug back in. Now we got action back on the mic.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that. This is for the live stream. This will all be on the pod, so whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Super Bowl week and what we got going on. Line is still 1.5. It has not moved since it came out last week. It's quite impressive. Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord.
Here she is. Bringing in celebratory Super Bowl shots. Let's go.
Fucking trouble. What that is. It's always.
At least it's cold. The fireball is freezing cold.
That is when it's the most dangerous.
Because it goes down so smooth.
Goes down so smooth, and then you're just like, shit.
All right. So, let's see. I mean, a lot of people want to say that this is going to be a shootout. A lot of people want to say this is going to be more of a defensive battle. I want to lean towards the latter.
I kind of think it's going to be more defensive.
Yeah, I think so too. I think both defenses are top notch. Both offenses can leave a lot to be desired, but they can also click. So there's two different types of offenses but both the defenses are pretty stout. So, very interested to see how the game goes, how it turns out. Defensively, you have great corners for Kansas City. You have a solid defensive line.
They can be ran on.
Led by Chris Jones, and that's proven by Cook last 2 weeks ago, or a week ago.
Yeah, I look for a heavy dose of Saquon, and I would go heavy dose.
Yeah, just make them stack the box, and then that's when you start getting them.
Yeah,
and that's where you get some one-on-one coverage with either AJ, or you're gonna get some one-on-one coverage with Devontae. And that's it's just going to open them up and keep them honest. But that is the thing about defending Philadelphia. It's a difficult task because of just how successful they can be at multiple positions.
Oh yeah.
Really, it does come down to Jalen and how Hurts is playing. So if he comes out kind of like he did against Washington. And just he's calm, cool, collected. Just some very good decision making on his behalf, which is different from some games in the past.
I didn't feel like Washington got a whole lot of pressure on him either. Your offensive line looked.
He got the ball out, but he got the ball out quicker. Too.
Yeah, he was getting the ball out faster too.
Yeah, they changed up a lot of what they did, and it allowed for Jalen to feel comfortable, and he just make some really good throws.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's more of what we'll see here in the Super Bowl. I am ecstatic that we were there just 2 years ago, and a lot of this team was there 2 years ago. So the experience is there. The revenge factor is part of this. I just like the aspect of having the experience. Of course, Kansas City is extremely experienced here, and this is probably just another game for them.
They're going to go into it acting like it's just another game. They've got no reason not to.
Yeah, I would love to just punch them square in the mouth, right up early, and just keep it on, and handle business from the get go, and make it a little bit more comfortable. Of course, that's not going to be the case. We might punch them in the mouth early, but I don't think either team's going to run away with it.
Man, did you hear? I don't know. I can't remember if I sent it to you. Did I send you the video where they talk about the Jim Kelly curse?
You might have. I might not have checked it out yet.
That is one. It had been a few weeks ago when I saw it, but it's the one that essentially no quarterback since the Bills went on the run to 4 straight. No quarterback that has went to the Super Bowl for the first time and lost that game
has come back.
Has come back to win one.
I do know that, and Jalen is the first. So
he could be. He can 100% be.
Well, he's the first one to return.
Yeah.
To the Super Bowl. So, that's big in its own right. Now, winning it. Now that's.
I had to go back and look at it though. Like I thought it was kind of crazy, and then you go back and you look at it, and it's like, it's true.
Well, you go back, you look. Burrow's been to the Super Bowl and hasn't been back. First time bowl appearances.
Let's see. I'm trying to think who's all made it and lost. Burrow's only been once. He lost. Been plenty of losers.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of the quarterbacks in this scenario, right?
Yeah.
So let's say.
Yeah, I'm pulling the games list up now. But I just see like some of the names because I guarantee you there's some names on there you're just like, damn.
Okay, so last year's Brock Purdy.
Yep.
Year before was Jalen. Year before that was Burrow.
Yep. What's the year before? What's that?
Who was San Francisco? Was it Garoppolo?
It was Garoppolo.
Yeah, in 20. It was Jared Goff of the Rams.
Yep.
In 19. Matt Ryan.
Yep.
But
playing for Atlanta.
Cam Newton.
Yeah. Cam just went to the one, never got back. That's all the way back to 15 there.
Yeah. We're keep going back and just naming them.
Yeah. Looking at the winners and losers, let's see where we go back to. Let's see.
But no, it's true. Quite the.
Well, Seattle, you don't really count because Russell won one the year before. It was Colin Kaepernick for San Fran in 13, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep. Here we go. Here's the detailed trade. I know we're all over the place now, but
it was Ben Roethlisberger, didn't he? He looks like he won one. Well, he'd already been and won one.
Yeah. So this deal sends Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, and then Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, and Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick go back to Miami. So quite the haul for Jimmy.
For an older,
almost a cancer. Think about it. Just the way he's acted all year.
Jimmy is one of those guys. There's no subtlety to him.
Yeah.
Like once he decides he wants to be out of somewhere, he goes full blown scorched earth to make it happen.
He does. As we've seen this year.
Was suspended 3 times by the team for action detrimental. That's insane.
It's a little much, man.
But he's always been like that.
No, he did the same.
Did the same thing in Chicago, did the same thing in Minnesota. I don't want to say he did the same thing in Philly.
He was a free agent.
They chose
the
poorly.
Decision. They chose Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler. And that bit us in the ass.
Who give Jimmy Butler credit at the time said Ben Simmons was sorry.
He did. He's not wrong.
Said he was sorry. I mean, ugh.
Yeah. So there's the details there. Maybe some more that come out, but that gives you kind of an idea of what's happening.
Hell, Embiid and Ben Simmons have made more money for not playing. How much money do you think those two have made by not playing? Close to $200 million.
Yeah.
I mean, Embiid's had $124 million in.
Yeah, he's got to be right there.
Ooh. Anyway, let's get back to this Super Bowl stuff.
Oh, did you know that Chip Kelly is the offensive coordinator for the Raiders?
Yeah.
I just read this because I was like, who's going to be the primary OC? And it's going to be at Ohio State.
It's Brian Hartline.
Hartline. I was like, that is news to me.
I think Chip Kelly is okay with being an offensive coordinator.
That's what he's good at. He doesn't need to run a team.
He in the NFL, no. I think he can still be an effective college coach. I just don't think he wants to deal with all the NIL bullcrap.
I wouldn't want to either.
I mean, I don't like any of the NIL stuff.
It's gotta get shored up before you start seeing some guys really,
this tampering and stuff. Like,
I mean, you saw him. I mean, he had UCLA's head coaching job and went to be an OC.
Yeah, so, left on his own.
His own. Yeah, it wasn't like he was fired. So I mean, that's that just came across here. All right, so. Let's see. Super Bowl predictions. What do you got for me?
What do I got? Let's see. I am big on some player bets. I think Saquon to do 100 is kind of a lock for me.
I mean, for what he's been doing, the thing is, I don't think Kansas City's given up a 100-yard rusher all year.
If Buffalo didn't stop using Cook last week,
yeah, he would have probably got it.
He'd have got it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he was only 15 yards away.
Buffalo's offensive line isn't nearly as good as Philadelphia's. They're solid, but they're not nearly that good.
Mm-hmm.
And James Cook isn't Saquon Barkley.
Right.
And James Cook was gashing them, which, makes me very leery of Saquon on him. And actually, I like Saquon and possibly 2 tutties too.
I mean, it's probably a solid bet to take. I mean, I think they're going to lean heavily on him, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yep. I like Jalen getting at least one rushing touchdown because he always does.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to.
It's one of those, if you're Saquon.
To say he's not going to have it. Yeah, Saquon's like, how many more touchdowns I would have in any other offense?
Well, the whole thing is like, if I'm Saquon and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to score, I'm going down at the 5. I'm not going to put it down at the 1. I'm going down at the 5. I
mean, he's had that happen to him a couple times this year.
Dude, I think I sent it to you where he had like 15 to 20 touches where like he was tackled at the 1 yard or 1 yard line or closer, and then he only touched the ball like 9 times after that.
That's nuts.
They go to what works.
Yeah.
They go to what works. I saw a guy today predicted like what he wants to see happen. He wants to see the Chiefs get beat by the Eagles scoring on the tush push on the last play, because then it would have the leagues like you would screw up the Kansas City three-peat. You'd have the Eagles scoring on a play that everybody hates except for Eagles fans. The guy's like, yeah, that would probably make the NFL ban it after that.
But I don't think you're going to ban it after that.
I don't think they're going to ban it either.
I don't think there's the need to ban it. It's kind of an exciting play at times because people like to watch it. And there's a lot of talk around it. So
I don't like to watch it.
You don't like it. I mean, it's just if your team could do the same thing,
No, there's only so many. We've talked about it. There's only so many quarterbacks that can do that.
Well, no, you're right.
Kirk Cousins ain't doing that. Derek Carr ain't doing that. Baker Mayfield would probably do it. But not to, I just don't know how effective. I mean, between Jalen and Josh Allen, those guys are just big, beastie quarterbacks. That's why I think they are more successful at it. But as far as the game itself, I like the Eagles money line. I think you take
I hope so.
You take a little bit of the better odds. The 1.5 points just ain't enough for me to be like, ooh, I'm gonna jump on the points. I'm just not. Doesn't excite me enough. But I will take the Eagles money line, and I like the under 48.5. Because if I'm
48.5, I like the idea. Yeah.
If I'm the Eagles, I know they like to play some up tempo.
At times, yeah, we can start moving the ball, get some snaps off pretty quick.
I would play super slow. Super slow with little packs of up tempo.
No, I mean you read the game in that, right?
Yep.
So
I'm just trying to, you want to limit Kansas City's opportunity. And they have all the tools to do that. Saquon running the ball, averaging 4 to 5 yards a carry. If you bust one, you bust one. Cool. But just pound them with it.
No, I mean, I think exactly what we needed. So, some injury updates. Brandon Graham, who got injured back at like the beginning of November, was a limited participant in practice today.
That's great.
So a good shot that he could show back up here for the Super Bowl. Jalen Carter was a limited participant because of illness. Kenny Gainwell still dealing with some concussion stuff, and his knee was limited today. Britton Covey, who's finally back, was a full participant. Very good returner for the Birds. Devontae Smith, dealing with the hamstring thing, was limited in practice today. So that's what we're looking at injury-wise here.
All right. That's not terrible.
Kansas City, no notable new injuries at all. Sky Moore's been out. Rashee Rice has been out. McCole Hardman's been out. The wide receiver room is it's been pretty thin. So
I'm ready for they're paying Kelsey, they're paying Mahomes, they're paying Chris Jones, who they should be paying. I'm sure McDuffie is probably making some coin too.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to why is there I know they're young at the wide receiver with Worthy, and Rice is only 3 would have been season 3.
Yeah, I think that's right. Or 2,
3, something like that. But he can't. I don't know. I would like to see Mahomes with a true in his prime.
Tyreek Hill was it.
He had that, and Hill went somewhere else for the money because the Chiefs weren't going to pay him what Miami was going to pay him.
Hey, I mean, when you got all those kids, you got to make sure you can support them. No,
that freaking no income tax in Florida too.
That is beneficial.
Yes. But I mean, Tyreek Hill was good, but he's more of a space. I want to see him have a guy I want to see him with a bigger type speedier wide receiver, like a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson where you can say, all right, I'm going to throw the ball up. My guy's going to get it. I ain't worried about it.
No, I get it.
He
kind of has that Hopkins.
He's got it in an old Hopkins who apparently is really old now. I thought was going to be more of a.
Well, early on, it looked like they were building some chemistry and things were kind of, progressing. And you're like, oh, this was the pickup expected.
Yeah. And it looked good for about 2 or 3 games. And then nothing.
It fell off, really.
I don't know. I don't think he fits the mold for what they use at wide receiver. They like the smaller, shiftier, faster, open and space guys.
Sure, but he's a guy that you can stretch the field with and still throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But I'm wondering if there's more to him aging now.
I mean, he is 32. It's his 12th year in the league, so I get it. But I mean, here's his stats for the last few games. Goes back to 16 at Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
5 catches, 6 targets for 36. Against Houston in week 17. 4 catches on 4 targets and 37 yards.
Okay.
Then last week of the year at Pittsburgh, 2 catches on 4 targets, 7 yards.
Yep.
We get Houston in the divisional round.
1 target.
One target, no catches. And then against Buffalo a week and a half ago, one catch, 2 targets, and only 11 yards.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me.
It's just almost like he's not existent in the offense.
That's the thing that's crazy. Like, how is he not existent? I mean, considering what we know you have at wide receiver.
Right.
That makes me wonder if they know he doesn't have it.
Maybe he doesn't. I mean, that guy in his prime, he was
nice. I'm not going to say he wasn't nice, but I'm wondering at this point if that's the issue.
Well, maybe it is. But thing is, Kansas City's defense is what got me. Guys like Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie, leading the way for him. Those guys are getting it done. So the matchup with a potentially explosive Philly offense makes this one one to watch. It's going to be it. It might not be what's best for viewership, especially with the Super Bowl, because the casual fan likes to see points and all this on the board. So might not be their cup of tea. But for diehard football fans, watching the defensive battle and seeing what's taking place and the adjustments that take place and seeing it all happen on the field, those are things that are fun to watch.
Dude, I like to see high scoring and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but like a good defensive match between 2 really good defensive teams.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Most of those teams that have a really good defense like that, their offenses are usually pretty sharp too. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is they have to practice against that defense.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that makes a world of difference.
Yes. When you're having to practice against top flight defense every week, you're going to be solid. That's why I don't really think that's why Kansas City is the way they are. It's like, we're just going to continue to do our thing. No, it's like there's no pressure on them. Like, I feel like that's how it is for them.
Yeah.
But just watching, watching a defensive chess match is fantastic, which I think we're going to see a lot of.
No, I think that's exactly what You're going to see a lot of adjustments from the offense, just trying to figure out what the defenses are putting out there. And that's what makes this matchup so intriguing. It's like, who's going to play the better game of chess?
Yeah.
And Andy Reid probably has the upper hand in that.
Andy Reid is an extraordinary coach.
Oh, 100%.
He's an all-time great.
Yeah.
I mean, between his two head coaching stints, I mean.
Yeah, you can't say anything bad about the guy.
I mean, the only guy that's been more successful is Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, right?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Because even in Philly, he was making NFC Championship games.
He went to 4 straight and finally broke through the 4th time.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we eventually lost to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Everybody lost to Tom Brady except for fucking Eli Manning.
Yeah. And Big Dick Nick.
Mm.
Don't forget Nick Foles.
The outlier.
The outliers. The NFC East quarterbacks.
All right.
So, just looking over the last few Super Bowls, they all score in the 40s. Last year, Kansas City won 25-22 over San Francisco, 47-point total.
Yep.
Year before, Kansas City won 38-35 against Philly.
That was a monster score.
Yeah, monster score there. Offenses were both of them were clicking. Year before was the Rams Super Bowl win, 23-20 over Cincy. Year before was Tom Brady's last year, or last Super Bowl, 31-9 over Kansas City, right at the 40 mark. Year before was huge scoring, 31-20, Kansas City over San Francisco.
Man, I forget that freaking Tampa just thumped them like that.
Thumped them. Yeah, that was a beatdown. And the year before that was Tom Brady's last Super Bowl in New England, as they won 13-3 over the Rams. That was the low scoring affair. But if you go back and look at like a lot of Super Bowls, a lot of big scores, all the way back to about 2013.
Oh, I want to see a good game. I'd love to see 2017, 20, 23-20, 24-21.
Yeah, we're gonna see something probably in that range, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect it to be in the 70s like Kansas City, Philly 2 years ago.
No, I think
both much improved.
Both defenses are in a completely different place. The crazy part is, though, even as good as Philly's defense is, they can still give up 24, 25 points.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it comes down to protecting the football too.
Yeah,
don't give up short fields. And don't let them, you don't gas the defense by going 3 and out a lot.
Yeah.
Putting together long, sustained drives and keeping possession of the football is going to win you football games. These are huge, huge advantages to the way Philadelphia's been playing recently. So, without talking, too much favor of the Birds, it's just they continue to play the way they've been playing. I really like their chances.
I like their chances a lot.
Yeah,
to be honest.
So, I said before the game I wanted Kansas City more than I wanted Buffalo. And that's simply because when that Buffalo offense is rolling. But I do like our D against either one of those teams, and then here we are against Kansas City. Or I really like the revenge factor of the thing too.
Yeah,
would like to get the one we lost back.
It's personal.
It's
personal this time.
I mean, I remember the holding call or the PI call and all that bullshit that went down in the last one. You can call it, you can't call it, but the way the game was being called, it just didn't seem like that was the time to make the call. But it's over. It is what it is. We're back, and hopefully we come on the right side of this time. Come up right on the side.
I want to see a game where I don't have to feel like there was a bad call made.
Yeah, I mean, but you still got to play above that. You got
to play above it. I get it, but it goes back to what we talked about the Buffalo first down last week.
Yeah,
that kind of changed the complexity of the game.
It did, and it took away a chance, and it does hurt. You don't want to. Hopefully, we don't run into anything like that. That's gonna, make people question the outcome of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it's decided one way or the other, in a fair.
Want to keep the shirts
fashion.
out of it as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not the show. The show are the guys that are on the field and playing the game. You want to take us into our first read?
Oh, sure, man. We can do this. Oh, going to talk about one of our new sponsors here, BigForkBrands.com. They are Chicago's finest sauces, bacon sausage.
Chicago.
Paleo jerkies, all kinds of good stuff. Elevate every bite the Windy City style.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. You do get a 20% off your first purchase when you use the code JABOTHEPOD.
Yeah, man. Use it up. Get that discount. Get you those Chicago sausages.
Yeah, man.
They got jerky. They got barbecue sauce.
Dude, I'm ready.
They got all the stuff you need right there. So check them out, man.
I was looking at some of the stuff earlier, man. There's some of that stuff looks delicious.
It does look good, man. Yeah. Hopefully we're able to hop on some of that soon.
I'm a sucker for jerky,
on its
though.
way. Box is on its way.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
We'll eat it live during one of the episodes.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, a little bit more. Let's see. Super Bowl brings in more betting than any other sporting event ever, right?
Yep.
I mean, whether it was in Vegas or now with the live sports betting on your phones, things like that. So, you're betting the spread, you're betting player props and things like that. But what's great about it are just the random prop bets that the Super Bowl brings. And when the Super Bowl shows, everybody likes to play these things, right? You have heads or tails.
Yeah,
the coin toss. You got what color Gatorade is going to be dumped on the winning coach.
Over and under time of the national anthem.
Yes, that's a big one. That one's played a lot. And people try to go back and look at different versions that the artist that is singing the national anthem has done in previous events as well, and then try to time it down and then make their bets and educated bet based upon a lot of research, which is really funny for just a simple prop bet. But I mean, you see thousands and thousands, actually millions of dollars just thrown at
crazy bets like
this.
That.
Yeah. So, let's dig into some of them.
Oh, it was the one last year. Last year the guy was over the prop bet about streakers.
Yep. You got prop bets for streakers. And I think the last two Super Bowls have had one.
Well, I know it was last year or the year before where it was the guy and his buddy placed the bet, and then the one guy just jumped out and
he made sure he was going to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one way to do it. They've had, it was
like a $10,000 fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I just won like $1 million. I don't care.
Exactly. And then you have you had like the porn star that came out or some adult like star or whatever did it one time and advertising whatever site they were on.
Oh yeah.
Just they don't get a whole lot of airtime because they just try to deter from it and they don't want people to get any airtime for it. So they usually cut away. They'll talk about it and you'll see the pictures and things like that.
Yeah, you usually don't really see a whole lot of it till like the next day, and it's usually like, watch this dude get cracked.
Mm-hmm.
And he just gets smashed by some security guard. And you're just like, ooh, man, it's not going to be fun to be you right now. What you got, like crazy prop bets over there?
Yeah, so you're gonna have different and crazy prop bets. Of course, you always have who's the favorite to win the MVP, right? Or who will win MVP? Who's going to score the first touchdown? Will any player score more than 2 touchdowns? those types of things.
Mhm.
But then you get the weird ones like opening kickoff return for a touchdown. Teams this how many tush pushes are there? Is one of them. So, what do you think? How many opportunities are they in? 3rd and 1, 4th and 1.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've seen games where we haven't had to use it, and I've seen games where we use it, 6 or 7 times. So, I would like to see what the over/under is on that. A prop bet is, will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift?
I've seen that one a couple of times. Seen a couple of times.
I have a good feeling that that's a hard no. I just don't see him as being a guy that would do that in a moment.
No, man.
Of a team moment, right? Not a personal moment. So that one's definitely not going to be out there. You've got, will Nick Sirianni cry during the national anthem again?
That's that's one of the prop bets I'm looking at. The 10 the ridiculous Super Bowl stuff, and it's, will any player or coach cry during the national anthem?
Mm-hmm.
Will a player leave the game and not return due to concussion symptoms?
Oh, that's a good one. Sometimes you could probably take that one. I think that probably hits on most games.
If the Chiefs win, will Andy Reid be doused in barbecue sauce after the game?
Man, that would be awesome.
It's plus 1,600.
That's all.
On the yes side.
Yeah.
The no side is minus 15,000.
Yeah. Right. But still, plus 1,600. I figured to have larger odds on that.
I would have thought so too.
Yeah.
But no.
Which commercial would be rated the best? Who has the most advertisements during the Super Bowl? Like what brand?
Oh shit.
How many times will Taylor Swift be shown during the game? How many times will Jason Kelce be shown? How many times will the Fox pregame host bring up Tom Brady's Super Bowl rings?
Ooh, because Tom will have one on.
Oh, he's going to have...
He may have 2 on.
He may have 7.
He may have them all. Just pow.
Yeah.
This one is the Drake Super Bowl curse.
The Drake Super Bowl.
The Drake curse is a viral trend on social media that claims whichever sports team or figure that the famous rapper Drake supports always seems to have bad luck shortly thereafter.
Man, I hope he's pulling for Kansas City.
Me too. Me too, sir. How many players will have passing attempts? Over and under 2.5.
I'd take the over. I could see some trickery happening.
See some trickeries happen?
Yeah, why not?
Number of beers sold.
Ooh. So just at the event?
Let's see. Caesars Superdome. Yes.
Just in the Superdome.
Yeah. Once ticket sales, Birdside TV, blah, blah, blah. The real money maker was the food and beer purchases at the game. He said he viewed owning the restaurant. Blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to see. The over and under is 120,000. Superdome seats 76,000 people, almost 76,500, close to it. So that's just 2 beers apiece for everyone.
Yeah.
Which, there's going to be that don't drink, and then there's going to be people like us that would probably
drink
have
6, 7, 8 times.
Yeah.
11, 12, 13 beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, that is crazy. I would probably take the over in that one.
I like this one. Both teams to score 10 or more points in the first half. Yes is plus 120.
I think both teams should score 10 in the first half.
I think so. Eagles running back Saquon Barkley to record 169 or more rushing yards is at plus 425. That's a lot.
How much?
169 yards.
Oh, for him to run for 169 yards?
Yeah, plus 425. That's a ton.
I may throw some money on that.
That's a lot. I mean, the return on it's nice, but 169 yards, that's a
lot.
I mean, you're saying he's going to have a normal 100-yard rushing game and then break one. Which, I mean, we've watched him do it. He did it for the opening drive last game.
Yeah.
So.
He actually didn't wait till the second half. He said, first touch, I'm gone.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just get this one out of the way.
Yeah.
And let's do it.
What color Gatorade is right here? And I'm looking at purple at plus 200, blue at plus 600.
Blue.
Yellow or lime green plus 450. Red or pink plus 700. Orange plus 500. And clear plus 1,000.
They're all high.
They're all high.
Yeah, but I mean, guessing the color's going to be difficult.
I mean,
I got to imagine like yellows or lemon lime is probably the one that's dumped the most. So does that one have the worst odds?
No, purple had the lowest odds at 210.
Plus 210 for a purple. Is that what everybody likes, I guess? Is that what, or is that the thing? That's what everybody's drinking now? Like
the yellow lime, the regular Gatorade, I guess the lime is 450. Orange is 500, which is usually a normal. I've checked last year's article, and there were better odds for orange Gatorade. Does that mean I think it's a better bet? No. This guy says he thinks it's going to be the yellow flavor.
That was my guess.
How many times will the chains be used for measurement? That's kind of low. Over and under 1.5. For just measurement.
Huh. Celebrity guest to appear on stage. Settled on the celebrity physically appearing on stage and singing for at least 10 seconds and listed on setlist.fm. All bets action. Bets are an official announcement. Bets after an official announcement will be void. But, you know, Kendrick Lamar is the halftime entertainment. Drake appearing on stage would be plus 3,500.
Yeah, that won't happen. That won't happen at all.
That would be hilarious.
I like this. Who will the Super Bowl MVP of the game think first? Teammates is 3-2. Coach is 12-1. Family is 12-1. Owner is 12-1. Does not think anyone is 5-2. And God is 3-1.
Yeah, I figured God would have some low odds on it.
That's why Will Howard wasn't on the stage for the Ohio State game.
Why is that?
The semifinal game.
Yeah.
That they won.
Yeah, he was trying to get up on stage. I remember that.
Yep. There's conspiracy going out there that the reason he wasn't allowed up on stage is during his personal interview, the first thing he did was thank God.
Any reason why that's a problem?
ESPN is woke.
So the odds for Travis Kelce proposing to Taylor Swift post Super Bowl, yes, is plus 750. Those are kind of low for something as crazy as that.
What's the no?
Minus 1,500.
Oh yeah.
So
it's weird. This is like retard gambling.
Mm-hmm.
How many times will Taylor Swift be shown live throughout the game? It's over and under is 5.5.
Yeah.
The guy doing this article is picking under. I do not believe that. I think it's going to be over all day long.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, they showed her last time how many times. She was only on screen for what, like 91 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, in total time, it wasn't a lot, but the amount of times they went to her. Me and you know this because we were hammered before halftime.
Yeah, we had a pretty good buzz before halftime.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's exactly what we expected. You know what we weren't drinking? We weren't drinking Goodfields.
No good feels that day.
Yeah, we should have probably been drinking some Goodfields. It would have it would chilled us out a lot more, but we were a little bit more hype. We were more hyped watching the football game after frosty beverages.
Yes, sir, we were.
And a lot of shots of Fireball. that it took us over the edge. However, if you choose not to get drunk, you have the option of going to Goodfields.
I like the Goodfield.
Yeah.
For that option.
Yeah, it's getgoodfields.com. It's a cannabis seltzer from getgoodfields.com, and they offer a new era of refreshment. They're crafted with high-quality, natural ingredients. These beverages provide a consistent, enjoyable, uplifting experience, perfect for any occasion. Enjoy an exclusive discount by using Jabbo the Pod. That'll get you 20% off. So go to getgoodfields.com, swipe you some up before the game, have them delivered, and enjoy yourself the game in a more relaxing, chilled out way. Instead of me, I will be hyped the entire game. So, we covered some prop bets.
Yep.
Yeah, another thing that a lot of people like to throw money on during the Super Bowl are Super Bowl squares.
Oh, yes.
If you don't understand the concept, basically you get a box for a certain amount of money, and there's 100 boxes. And before any numbers are thrown out, what you do is you just pick boxes, and it's just a big grid, 10 by 10 boxes, and you put your name in a box and you pay for it. And then at the end of each quarter, there's a score. And if the score for the team at the top of the box, which would be either the Chiefs or the vice versa on the side of the box, and if your score matches one of the top boxes, the last digit of the score, then, and for both teams, then you match that box, and that's who wins. So we've done this for years now.
Yes, we have.
I've won a quarter or two before. I don't think I've got the final yet.
I haven't won any of it, so
yeah, the final is the one that pays out the most. And generally, sometimes people just split it evenly across the 4 quarters and overtime and all that good stuff. But it's just a fun way to get even the casual fan, or not even a fan, just someone to watch the game.
Yeah.
This is the only football they watch all year. It's just a way to keep them interested in the game and stuff like that. So that is a very popular thing amongst the Super Bowl parties. And of course, we're doing it yet again this year. So excited for that.
I've never seen so many dudes be so confused on how something works at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, you're not supposed to click the ads, Joel. But
it was just funny that, like, I felt like
I was asking for my credit card information.
I was like the 3rd or 4th guy, and it's 6 or 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what the fuck? There's already squares gone? Who the fuck?
Well, I chose squares first.
I know you chose squares, and then fucking it was like as soon as you posted it was like Bobby was already on there, boom, and then Rob was there, and then Joel was fighting on how you did it.
And Joel's been part of it for years.
Yes, so it's the same thing every year.
It's the exact same thing.
But we have the same problem every fantasy football draft too. How the fuck do we sign into this thing again?
You figure, like, we're 10 years into this thing. Like, I mean, come on, guys.
Dude.
We're at this point.
We're all getting old, bro.
That's
the problem.
It's like, what's this thing in my hand?
Technology.
Back in my day, we just did it on a big board. We wrote the name of the player we're drafted.
Yes. Wrote it down as we were going.
Yes, sir.
And I do like how we do our draft order every year, though. That's pretty fun. That's
different. Yeah. No, it's fun. We use a duck race. That basically is just a website that generates names on ducks, and you run it for about a minute, and the ducks race in a pond.
Yeah, I like it.
It works every time. You can't fix it. You can't.
It's the only race I'm really glad I never win.
Oh yeah, no, this is one you don't want to win. You won it this year. You took Christian McCaffrey, and you're like, ah, shit.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Going into this year, everybody that had the first pick was going to take Christian McCaffrey.
Well, after the last 2 years he had, why wouldn't you? I mean, I get it. He's shown he could be healthy, and then the Panthers, McCaffrey showed up this year, and that's what you get. But hey, no, that's the luck and the bad luck that comes with fantasy football. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Did we have more squares sold? I didn't even went back and looked.
Yeah, we've got the majority of them are sold. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, we're on the right way.
We got left.
Get these things filled. I haven't looked at it today. I get an email every day. I think we filled up 55 on the first day. So
I can probably get a couple more sold too.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to give it, amongst friends and family, the first couple days to pick boxes, and then now that we're coming up against the weekend, now it's time to go ahead and offer it up offer it up to more people.
I'll get with my brother. I'm pretty sure he'll buy a few boxes.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's make it happen.
Wish he could stay and freaking watch the game, but he'll be going home on Sunday.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
Yeah, he bribed his grandkids to come because at first they weren't going to come because they didn't want to be away from mom and dad.
Oh no.
Yeah, so like they bribed them with well, if you come with us, you don't have to go to school on Friday. I'm like, that sounds like a pretty good bribe. I'd be in on that one.
I like it.
Yes. What other crazy stuff happens for the Super Bowl? Don't they usually have like halftime prop bets too?
Well, they have like how many songs are going to be played at halftime. What's the first song that's going to be played? All that kind of stuff.
I don't.
So we have all that good.
Yeah, man, I'll end up making some type of props, I'm sure. I'll dig into them a little further. I'm sure we'll talk about all the money I lose on next week's show.
Well, that's what I imagine. I think I'm going to stay away from betting.
Yeah, of course you do. You never bet on when your team's playing.
I know. I just feel like it's bad juju. So I don't want to do that.
I'll just keep betting on them. I will keep betting on them and keep winning a little bit of money.
Hey, man, keep it up. Keep it up. I'm telling you. Get it, buddy.
I know I'm going to bet on them this week, and then when they lose, you're going to call me. It's all your fault.
I will. Absolutely. Do it right after the game if we lose. Just so you know. See how intoxicated I am at that point.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure at the end of the game, I'll be laying in bed. There's a very good chance.
What's your game plan for?
Like I said, we're supposed to go to some Super Bowl party. I don't know if we'll stay for the whole thing or not.
Yeah.
I've got to get up super early Monday morning, so it won't be a late night for me. I actually didn't take Monday off this year.
I got the whole week off just in case we get it and go into the parade.
They win, dude. Be hammered next week when you come back.
Oh man, I'm jazzed. I can't wait till Saturday. Ready to pack up and get on the road. Can't wait.
Can't wait, huh?
Yeah.
Can't wait. Well, should we do these things? Because they've been staring at us for like 30 minutes.
I think so. Like, it's
probably warm now.
No, they're still cold.
All right.
Go Birds.
I did send you a reel today you're going to love.
Oh, God. I can't wait to check it out.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hooray.
It's a Birds win, so you'll be down.
Good.
It made me chuckle. And, I don't normally send stuff like that unless it makes me chuckle pretty good.
Well, of course, yeah, you got to laugh. I mean, only send the funny stuff. Don't send lame stuff.
I'll send some funny stuff. I send a lot of funny stuff. I see some stuff that just makes me laugh too, and I'm just like, whatever. I like to laugh, so it makes me happy. So,
yeah, I would dig in on college basketball right now since we have a little bit of time, but I'm just not interested in it right now because my team took an ass whooping today.
And mine took one over the weekend, and I'm just like,
yeah, it's just I don't really know what I'm talking about.
My brother, luckily my phone was dead Saturday night. I had it on the charger in the bedroom, and I'm just like, I don't even care. my brother called me like the next day and he's like, dude, what's on your phone? I was trying to call you last night. And I'm like, why were you calling me? He's like, why you think I was calling you?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, that's exactly why it was off.
This is why I turned my phone off.
Yes.
I don't want to deal with shit that you're going to give me for this.
Oh, he was giving me shit. And it like, the thing was like, it wasn't even as close as the final score indicated. I mean, Carolina finished the game on an 18-2 run and still lost by damn near 20.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's considered a good old fashioned ass whooping.
Dude. I was out. We were at went out to eat, out to dinner, and I was watching the game in the restaurant, and like I'm literally facing this big ass TV the entire time, and I'm just like sad.
I mean, were at least other Carolina fans in there to just like, you know?
Oh yeah, there was other Carolina fans and stuff in there, but the thing
Misery loves company.
Ed, what was getting me was the fact that you know how I feel about my barbecue. Like I'm actually in a barbecue place, and like I'm like my dinner was just ruined.
Yeah,
like it wasn't that the food was bad; the food was great, but it was just like I don't even feel like fucking eating. I was so mad.
Yeah, I get that. I can understand how it will ruin an appetite for sure.
Oh, dude, I am on the firm. If Hubert Davis' seat isn't fucking hot, it needs to be.
Yes.
Like, it needs to be. Like, I am very disappointed. I'm very sad. I think he can't coach in-game situations. We lost too many games where it's been tight going into the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, so it's been more of a struggle in those tight moments, and you're not seeing what you want to see.
Well, there was a stretch of 3 straight Carolina games that were all decided by 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
We won 1, lost 2. I mean, that is strategy. That is drawing up the right play. That is putting the ball in the right guy's hands. That is playing better defense, not giving up anything stupid.
Yeah.
And then it's just, I just don't think he got it.
I mean, I get it. It's.
I mean, the sad part, if they had won that championship game, in which the fact that they were even up by 15 at one point is still amazes me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did not expect that at all. I expect Carolina's going to lose this game. I mean, they probably shouldn't have made it this far.
I mean, sometimes it just takes getting hot at the right time. And I mean, that's where you were at that point. They had a good team that was put together there. And
that was the same year of the Baylor second round game.
Yeah.
Where like Carolina was just killing them until they ejected Brady Manick for an accidental elbow, which I still 100% believe was accidental. I don't know why they ejected it. Like I get the rulings and stuff, but like, come on. It wasn't that he was straight up slinging elbows. Like it was incidental contact. But
those things do happen. So
well, they don't play with that kind of stuff in the games anymore either. They just don't.
Yeah, on my side, it's we reach conference play and they win games that you don't think they should win, and then they're losing games that you think they should win. You know, they're 4-5 in conference. You know, they lost to Georgia. They lost to Vandy. Then they go off and beat Tennessee. Then you lose to Arkansas. And then, I mean, you just got your asses handed to you by Ole Miss last night.
Well, that was the thing that you and I talked about earlier this year when you had sent me the thing about the SEC and having all these teams with winning records. I'm like,
well, yeah, you knew they were going to end up beating each other up.
Yeah,
and that's fine. But it just
like there's
sucks.
talk that there at one point they were still talking that there was a chance that 13 teams could get in the tournament, and I'm just like, come on now.
I mean, every team except South Carolina has a winning record in the SEC. Of course, you have the teams that like South Carolina hasn't won a conference game yet, and we play South Carolina next. And if we don't correct things, I mean, that's something we can lose.
Yeah.
And you're going to give them I mean, really what you need to correct is definitely the defensive side of the ball. You're allowing teams that don't score over 70, 75 points a game to score 98, 89 points a game against you. And the defense has to be shored up. And it's almost like Pope doesn't have any idea on the defensive side of the ball. And the thing was, he was an excellent defender when he was in college. And it's just surprising. I know he's offensive minded. I know he
just needs to bring in the right defensive guy to help him.
I think that's what needs to take place is someone else that's going to coach the defense and, really lock things down defensively for the team. Because when you let teams get out on these big runs and they get up kind of big, it's almost like you're just chipping away at nothing because defensively you're not making the stops that are required to get back into the game. And they weren't able to do it yesterday. And they did outscore them in the second half, but it was still a high-scoring second half.
Does he at least call timeouts to stop runs?
Yeah, I mean, he does, which is nice. I know you loved Roy Williams for that.
Oh, dude, every Carolina guy's done that. Every fucking one of them.
They all
Hubert Davis does it too.
Because they all learn from the same guy.
God damn, dude. You don't make any extra money for keeping them in your pocket.
Yeah, I know. It is a weird aspect of that.
And you get the same amount in the second half.
Yeah.
So why are you not calling them in the first half?
Yeah.
Don't you get the same amount? Don't you get, 4 timeouts or something like that? Or is it 5 total for the game?
I think it's 5 each half, isn't it?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think it's 4 or 5 each half. I'm not positive. I'm
Googling it now. I
get confused between pro and college in that aspect. But yeah, I mean, Kentucky's lost 4 of their last 5. And it's not look great. It's kind of demoralizing, especially when you see wins, against Gonzaga. You see wins against Duke, wins against Florida, a tight game with Alabama, and then you win against A&M, a win against Mississippi State. All these ranked teams, a win against Tennessee, and I mean, we are without our starting point guard, and Lamont Butler is the deal. So that is
okay. Maybe I should reconsider this. This says that in college basketball, each team has 4 timeouts.
Okay.
1 60-second timeout, 3 30-second timeouts.
Okay.
If the game is televised, there are 8 TV timeouts, 4 in each half. 2 of the team's 3 30-second timeouts may be carried over from the first half to the second half. So they only have the 4 timeouts.
Gotcha.
If it's a televised game. Which now I see why they always want to get those TV breaks. Well, sometimes you got to call that timeout.
It seems like that's what Roy always wanted to do.
Always. Let's get to the first TV break. No, bro. Kansas just went on a 24-2 run. And you sat there and watched it happen.
I figured that one would just stay in your mind forever.
It's going to.
Yeah.
It is awful. It's one of my worst college experiences.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Like, it was ugly.
Me, my brother, Ryan, and our buddy Dave were watching it at a bar, and we were just like, what is happening? I mean, of course, we were ecstatic because none of us are Carolina fans. And they both went to state, so.
I get that. But it was the whole, the fact that they went on that big run and that Carolina was able to get it back to I think it was 3 at one point.
Yeah.
And they had just burned up so much energy.
Oh yeah.
Fighting to get it back to that in the second half when Kansas pulled away again, they didn't have any energy left.
No, I wouldn't expect them to. Especially when you're running your first 5.
Yeah.
And you're running them because you need to at that point.
Yeah.
It's really hard to sub in a second squad at that point.
Well, I mean,
it's taking place.
That team was, I think, only 6 or 7 guys deep anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they weren't rotating a whole lot anyway. So, but for them to have made it that far. Now, they were actually a little deeper. That was the Tyler Hansborough Jr. year. Because they won it the following year. They were deeper at that time. They might have been 8, maybe 9 deep. I was thinking the Hubert Davis final, where they only went like 7 deep.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to catch Auburn play?
I have.
Wow.
They're legit.
Bruce Pearl has a squad.
Bruce Pearl's a good coach.
Oh, I agree with you. I've said it. I was a huge advocate of Bruce Pearl being the replacement for Calipari when he came or when he left. So a lot of people don't like his personality. A lot of they go back to like the cheating and the tattling and all that other stuff that he had back in the day. But
he's a good coach.
Dude, players love to play for him. And I mean, he brings that kind of energy. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trading Pope for anybody right now. I'm happy with the direction of the program. I expect it'll take him, a little while to, get his feet underneath him, get settled, and so he's bought time with me, and I think with most of the fan base. I think what sucks for Mark Pope at this juncture is that he built like these expectations so high with the wins he got. Not that he personally did it.
Yeah.
It's just when you beat Duke and you turn around and you beat Tennessee and you start off, you have such a hot start.
Yep.
And then when you get to this point of the year and now you're struggling, you have some injuries and things like that, it really demoralizes the fan base a little bit and it makes you second guess like what's taking place. But like I said, this is his first year.
Yeah, this is his first year. You got nothing to worry about.
But he has nothing that he's built this team from the ground up. Literally, I mean, there's no points that were returned from last year. So, I mean, you've got a whole new team that you have to start with here. And then you can look forward to, what he builds this on.
Yeah.
So he's built a very solid base. He's got a solid recruiting class coming in next year. He's doing all the right things. And I think that kind of set the expectations a little too high for a guy that has to make the adjustment to the big leagues. BYU's not the big leagues.
No, they're not.
So this is an adjustment, but he's a guy that gets the fan base. He understands what's required to, to survive as the coach of Kentucky. So, he's got. Yeah, I like the direction of the program. I like that it seems like it's more of a fan driven team than a Calipari or a coach driven.
It's more.
And it just feels more like it used to.
Well, Calipari got, I don't know. I've never really liked Calipari as a coach. I'm not saying he hasn't done good jobs everywhere he's been because he has.
He wins.
I mean,
it's just until the last 5 years because he's stubborn and he won't change his ways. But that's not what we're discussing.
There's just something about him, and I'm gonna say there's just a slime to him.
I mean, he looks like a used car salesman. I get it. But the thing is, the man has made more millionaires than any coach in basketball.
I'm not disagreeing. I understand that, but it's just
like
one of those.
What he's selling is working. I get, and I mean, and the people that say he rolls the ball out and stuff like that, it's just ridiculous. He's a good coach, but I mean, he's a better recruiter than he is an X and O guy.
I think at this point, I think so.
I mean, I think it's been that way, and that's fine. If you're putting the talent on the floor and you can get them to gel and win, then you're doing a good job. You're doing your part. I get it.
But you could see it over the last few years when he had all that talent coming in, and there were just times where,
I mean, the talent didn't pan out either. Some of them were just big man on campus and felt like they didn't have to put the work in, and then he was managing egos, and then all of a sudden now it's NIL, and there's a lot that was really in play here. I think that's what's been a little bit more detrimental to his players first mentality.
Yeah,
instead of being a coach first. He's more concerned about do these guys like me? Do they want to play for me and things like that, rather than coaching them up and, disciplining. I mean, you think he's a disciplinarian, but by the way, he yells on the sidelines and things like that, but I just don't buy it.
I don't buy it either. I think you want to be honest. I think he's super soft with his players off the court.
Yeah, I think he lets them get away with a lot, and there's just not as much discipline in the program that there should be.
I mean, with the talent you've had come through there, and him to win what, one?
Yeah, and I mean, he's going to go down as the best coach to underachieve. Really is what it's going to be.
I can give you that.
I mean, for
the amount of talent that he's had,
amount of talent, the amount of first round picks, number one overall picks, just the talent levels that were amassed on these rosters, it was underachieving.
Yeah.
I mean, that's putting it nicely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will say he had me excited again for Kentucky basketball after dealing with Billy Gillispie for those 2 years, and the end of the Tubby era was a little rough too. But I mean, Tubby did it with class, and Tubby was nothing but a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
I love that man to death. Billy Gillispie was just a drunk that just was chasing money and ego and everything else, and then found out he was a small fish in a big pond. It didn't work out for him.
Well, there's some of those guys that and you see it in college ball too a lot. There's guys that are made to be big school guys.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and you see it. They handle it nicely, and then there's guys that he doesn't need to be at a Power 5 school. Chris Peterson,
yeah,
at Boise State was fantastic.
Rolling. That was his
and
thing.
he did just, and he was okay at Washington.
Yeah,
but it was that talent jump, what he was having to see.
But he was the guy that found the diamonds in the rough, and then when he makes that move, he's recruiting at a higher end of player at that time. And then he's just not evaluating the same way that he probably was in,
at
previous
Boise
times. Yeah, exactly.
Boise is one of those places. Hey, you come here, you're probably not going to start as a freshman.
Yeah.
Unless you are just ungodly.
Yeah,
unless somebody just
talented.
missed something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always a guy that slides through somewhere.
I mean, they show up to camp and then they outperform, their competition.
Yeah.
And you just see sometimes these guys just improve in a summer. Yeah. I mean, and they improve head over heels. And it's just like a guy you can't sit. It doesn't happen often, but you do see those times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the big schools now, you're seeing more of these big time top recruits playing early and getting major roles. But
I mean, that's what I'm, I kind of made the point earlier was Calipari was too loyal to a lot of certain guys too, right? DJ Wagner got a lot of love last year. And you saw guys like Dillingham and Reed Shepherd coming off the bench, and you're like, why?
Why are these guys not starting?
They should be starting because they were the two best players on the team, and they were coming off the bench. And it just doesn't make sense that you have. I mean, look who's performing. Even at this point,
you want to put your 5 best guys on the court.
Yeah,
unless you've got 3 or 4 guys that all play the same position, and then you kind of got to rotate it in. I get it.
I mean,
but you find a way to make that work.
That was the 2015 team. That team he amassed should have won. They ran up against a team that, matchup wise, just didn't work out for them.
They Big Tenned them.
They did.
They Big Tenned them, and Cal just played right along with it.
Yeah, he didn't change the game plan, and I mean that's kind of what the downfall of the Empire really was, right there. You got to that point of greatness that was almost achieved. It just fell short.
It was a hubris,
and
failing every time.
Yeah,
like we got this. We're better than this. We're good for this.
No, that's where we ended up. I mean, when you talk about a guy like Devin Booker, who shows out in the league, and he's one of the top 10 players in the league, maybe 15.
Yeah.
And he's coming off the bench for that team because he remained loyal to the Twins. And don't get me wrong, the Twins got us to where we were the year before and to that point. And, the platoon thing was undefeated at the point. So who's to knock what he was doing? But if you really thought about it, and he narrowed it down to like an 8 or 9 man rotation at that point of the year and allowed for a lot of these guys to gel with each other rather than just 4 other guys.
Yep.
Like, what could have really happened? Like, how much better would that team been had it was coached in a traditional fashion?
I like that he was like, there's sometimes you're like, man, I'm glad you're loyal to guys. But like the Twins, there was guys better on that team that the Twins saw more time in.
Tyler Eulis.
Yeah.
Was one of them because you saw him the next year. Tyler Eulis was just a different point guard. He was undersized, but the dude had that dog in him.
Yeah.
And he's a leader, a natural born leader. Then, again, you had Devin Booker. Another guy.
Yep.
Who should be, you have Karl Anthony Towns and Devin Booker on the same team, and they don't see minutes together. And you look back at that time, and it's like, what could have been?
Well, who else was on that team? That was the that was the Anthony Davis too.
No, that was 2012. That's the year we won. They had Michael Gilchrist on it.
Was the 2015 one? That was the was that the Willie Cauley-Stein and
I think Willie was there.
And who was the other big guy?
Cat.
There was another guy too.
Dakari Johnson.
No, maybe the guy I'm thinking would played with Willie Cauley-Stein, but fuck is the dude's name? Noel. Nerlens Noel.
No, Nerlens was 2013.
Okay. That was a little earlier then.
And he got hurt that year, and that's when that season went to shit, and we ended up in the NIT and losing in the first round. Trey Lyles, who's still in the NBA, was on that team. He was a rotational player.
I thought there was another big guy that played with Willie Cauley-Stein, though. Was it Cat?
It was Cat. Willie Cauley-Stein and Karl Anthony Towns played together.
Okay.
But, Willie Cauley-Stein was on the same team as Nerlens.
Yeah, but he was like a freshman or
they were
sophomore.
both freshmen the same year. Yeah. So, but he didn't see the clock. He improved. That was his 2015 was like his junior year.
I liked Willie Cauley-Stein. I thought he was going to be a better pro than he actually was.
I thought he would have been too. I thought he would have panned out. That was the year that Alex Poitras got hurt. And Poitras was set to be a stud on that team. But no, that team was deep. It had a lot of NBA talent. Guys that actually played on that team, I think there was 10 or 11 that ended up in the league.
That doesn't surprise me, bro. He could put guys in the league. That was not a...
Well, maybe they at least played in the league at some point. Maybe 9. But still, you're talking about... you had the Harrison twins. They both played in the league for a stint. Of course, now you have Devin Booker, who's showing out. Karl Anthony Towns as well. Willie Cauley-Stein was in the league. Trey Lyles is still in the league.
SGA?
SGA was later.
How much later?
No, but if we're talking about this 2015,
yeah, you're talking about that team, yeah.
Yeah. You just had. There's so much talent. It was rough.
Yeah. It sucks when you got talent like that and you lose.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, and I don't know how far you want to go down this, but of teams that, of all the college basketball teams where injury ruined what was probably going to be a national championship team, who would you say that team was?
Duke with Kyrie would have probably been pretty solid.
Probably wouldn't have been a bad one. It probably wouldn't have been a bad one if he'd have played like the whole year. The one that sticks in my mind the hardest is Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, Kenyon Martin.
The year that Kenyon Martin broke his leg and like were they in the Big East at the time?
I think so.
Or were they in
the
the conference? Or were they?
I was in high school.
Or was it Conference USA or something at that point?
They might have been. It was Conference USA or the Big East at that point.
Yeah, I can't.
Anyways, we know where they were, and that team was good.
That
Cincinnati team, like that was Chuggins' one chance.
That was his national championship team.
Yeah.
I mean, it was him, Nick Van Exel, a couple other guys.
That team was good.
Ooh. Yeah, I remember watching them play several times, and they just beat the brakes off of just about everybody they played.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing in a lesser conference, but that team was talented.
Yeah, but even when they were playing, their non-conference schedule was like, because Huggins got it. He knew, hey, you got to play some teams.
Yeah.
You just can't cruise through the season, especially if I'm playing in a smaller conference.
Well, Huggins was never one to, shy away from a tough out-of-conference schedule.
No. There's
he still does. He still did that.
West
later
Virginia.
I mean, he was still playing teams. He would play Kentucky. He would play Michigan. He'd play all these.
Well, that's what I like about being like. Carolina plays usually a good non-conference schedule. Kentucky usually plays a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
Duke plays a pretty good one. And what's sad is Duke, Carolina, Kentucky seem to rotate like the same teams in and out every like couple of years. Because we play each other every other year usually.
We have here in more recent times. It seems to have stopped. But you have like you have like so many different classics that are out there. You have like the Champions Classic.
Yes.
Which is a rotation of Kentucky, Kansas, Michigan State, and Ohio State, I think.
Yep.
Or Duke. The Duke's in the Champions.
Yeah, I think Carolina would be in there. They rotate in and out. That's the one they play in Vegas, right?
No.
Is this the one they play in Madison Square
Garden?
Yeah, there's like 8 teams or 9 teams they rotate.
It's just 4 that they rotate. Mm-hmm. Is Duke...
I'm saying it's only 4 in it each year, but there's like...
No, it's the same 4.
Is it the same 4 every year?
Yeah, they just rotated. They've been doing it for like the last 6-7 years. But then there's there's the CBS Classic that they were part of that had... Ohio State was in one of them. I don't think it was the Champions Classic because I don't think Ohio State was...
I don't think Ohio State's ever won a basketball champion.
They haven't. So they shouldn't be part of the Champions Classic. I think it's Duke, Michigan State, UCLA, and Kentucky.
Yeah,
that might be it.
That probably sounds about right.
Yeah, so they rotated it. But it's not like you couldn't put Carolina in that. Well,
you can put just about any team that's won one in it. But
I'm probably mixing the two together. But like I said, we've played Duke like once every 3 years recently. We played Michigan State once every 3 years recently. So it's part of a rotation in that Champions Classic.
Yeah.
And then there's like the CBS one too, and like so there's a lot.
Well, there's like a bunch of tournaments right there at the beginning.
These 4-16 formats where they trade off every. Like those are more prominent now than they have been in the past.
We know where UConn won't be playing anymore.
They have turned their season around, so props.
Good on them. Good on. That's because they're not having to play 3 games in 3 days.
Oh no!
Sorry,
your conditioning sucks. Sorry, Dan Hurley.
He's prepping his dudes for the NBA.
Yeah.
Just go in there and tell them you're not playing in back-to-backs.
Yeah. Get him, Joel.
Right? I got a question about that, too. If guys are volunteering or straight up saying, hey, I'm not playing on the back end of back-to-backs, why does the team still got to play him?
Yeah,
if they're saying
voluntarily sitting out,
you're saying, hey, I'm not playing on the back end,
then you shouldn't be paid for the day. Like if I went to work and said, I'm not working today,
Okay, go home. They're not going to pay you for it.
Yeah, you're not getting paid.
I mean, I got to imagine there's probably some type of language in the contract and stuff, but it just doesn't. Like load management, especially when it's the player setting it,
It's a little ridiculous.
It doesn't. Like I get that probably the NBA season is probably a little too long. I will say that. I will agree. I mean,
it was never a problem in the past.
Because all these new generation are soft.
I understand. So are you making the exception for them, or are they, I mean, like at some point you got to tell somebody they're soft and you got to just be like, no.
Well, you can't tell them they're soft because then they go cry to the media or oh.
I mean, it's just.
The players now are soft.
I know you can't compare eras. You can't because
I broke a fingernail. I can't play today.
Right.
My finger hurts.
My pinky finger on my
shooting hand is hurt. Yeah.
Fucking hurt. Yeah. It's like, who cares? Get out there and fucking dribble.
Man.
Michael Jordan played with the flu. Kobe Bryant was out there with a torn ACL.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yes. I mean,
it blows my mind.
Look at how hard John Stockton played. How many games did he miss, period?
How many times did he get hit going to the rack? And that's not going to the rack, but you know, he was dribbling, driving like a motherfucker.
Dude.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with Gary Payton, and he actually talks about John Stockton was like the hardest person for him to guard. He's like, I'd rather guard Michael than I would John.
Yeah.
He's like, because John, I had to guard him 94 feet every time because he was never going to stop moving.
No, he's always moving. And that says something in the right that, you know, he's not, he was never injured. And the guy kept moving, like, I mean, and pivots and stutter steps and just, you know, going around screens above and under them. And it was nuts.
Never stopped moving, ever.
These guys worked and got paid for it. I just don't see why these guys now, they just seem so entitled to, I don't have to. It's like it's become like,
it
just seems to become the norm. And I think that's where the NBA's messed up. Like, they need to set some kind of rule that requires them to play. You know, if you're not hurt, you're playing. You know, if you don't show up on an injury report, you're expected to be suited up.
Man, if I am reading this right, John Stockton played 15 seasons.
Yeah.
In which he played all 82 games.
Whoo!
There's only 3 seasons in which he did not play 82 games. 3. In one of the seasons, he played 78. The other 2, I think, is when he had the knee injury because he
had the knee injury one year.
There was a year that he played 64 games and then he only played 50 the very following year. It makes me think that was the injury
the overlap.
Gap. Yeah. Yep. But it's just insane. Like his assist record will never be broken.
Oh,
never.
No, that's going to be impossible.
Never.
When you average 10 a game? I mean, come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There was a 10-year stretch where the least assist he averaged was 10.5.
Yeah.
That was the least.
No.
And that was the only 10 assist year.
Yeah.
Like, just crazy.
Dude could dish the rock.
Well, I mean, he had a year, his 78, he had an 82 game season in which he averaged 14.2 assists a game. So, I mean, I got to imagine there's games where he only dished 8. But at the same time, I got to imagine there was a game when he had 20.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy. It's his assist and his steals numbers will never be broken. Never. Chris Paul is second, and he is still thousands of assists behind him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's 15,000 assists or something like that.
Ridiculous number.
Ugh, crazy. Anyway, that's where it digressed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're thinking about changing your team, you want to swap up to a team that has players that actually play every game or whatever, you're going to need some new merch, right? You're going to get some new merch at Old Glory. That's what you want to do?
I like it.
I think that's where you should go. Old Glory offers over 300,000 items for music, sports, entertainment, pop culture fans, officially licensed merch from iconic bands and other sports teams. Discover your perfect fan gear and then save with the Jabbo the Pod discount code.
Yes, sir.
Use that promo code at oldglory.com. Get you some new gear. Super Bowl's coming up. If you need some new gear, go ahead and swoop right there from Old Glory. Those guys give you 15% off with the use of the Jabbo the Pod promo code.
Getting the reads in. Getting them.
Got to get them in, man.
We'll get them smoother.
Yeah.
The more we get them in, the smoother it'll be.
Getting better.
We will, sir.
All right, man. Well, that's going to wrap up the Super Bowl episode with a little bit of extra sports dice sprinkled in there. A little bit, just a little sprinkle.
Little sprinkle?
Yeah.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, man. But I'm going to go get prepared for Philly and hope for a Super Bowl win.
You leave Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, my brother, I
Right
hope you have
early.
a blast.
Yeah, man. I hope so, too.
I'm sure we will have.
Hopefully, I'm dancing in the streets. Up and down Broad, baby.
We'll be sharing, I'm sure, a few text messages along the way.
Well, absolutely. What we got to do. We'll talk about the bowl, why it's happening.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have no doubt, sir. No doubt.
All right, man. Well, until next time, which will probably be week and a half.
Yeah, probably next weekend sometime.
Yeah. When I get back from Philly, we will talk about the Super Bowl, the results, cover some of those prop bets we talked about, see what hit and what didn't, and see how much money Steve loses.
Oh, yeah. I'm planning on losing. I don't know. I'm not planning on losing any.
Don't plan to lose. Don't plan to lose, man. You got to pump yourself up.
I don't plan to lose.
You're going to get W's.
Absolutely.
Win. Eat those W's, as Jameis Winston says.
I just want to thank God for blessing me the ability to play in the snow. Love that guy. Have you seen, did you see the interview? Sorry, I know we're getting ready to go off, but did you see the video of him being at Media Day for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, asking what team he needed to play for.
Saquon told him they thought the Giants needed a quarterback.
Giants need a quarterback.
He's like, all right, man, Ben, I appreciate it.
Yeah, know where I'm going. I'm gonna look out for them.
Oh, Lord, that would be great. Dude, that dude's got such a personality. But anyway, let's wrap this thing up. We can talk about personality. Yep.
All right, man. Until next week, it's Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.